Okay, so we're finally going to do it. We're going to talk about The Exorcist because when we do movie reviews, when I talk about like the Interview with the Vampire or Jaws, you all in the comments are always saying The Exorcist. It was The Exorcist that ruined movies for me, or it's like the scariest movie I ever saw. And I still have not got through the entire movie The Exorcist. I've seen like clips of it on YouTube, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So, okay, we're going to talk about The Exorcist today. By the way, hi, thanks for joining the channel. I'm Dr. Andrew O'Connor, where we talk about really interesting things. And I am so interested in ghosts and spirits and supernatural, the paranormal. I mean, you name it. I'm so intrigued by it. Of course, growing up with a science-based believing family. And, my uncle was a surgeon. My father was an eye doctor before he got into commercial real estate. And then I was a nurse and then became a doctor. But I'm telling you what, the unknown has just always intrigued me. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about The Exorcist. I didn't realize this. And again, I don't know if I can sit down and watch the whole movie. I have enough issues with things going on in my house. I don't need to turn on The Exorcist here. But so The Exorcist came out in 1973. I remember this do you remember this? Like as a child, seeing the previews on TV, hearing everybody talk about it. And I just remember as a child, I just saw that one thing about her head spinning. And I was like, I am not seeing that movie. Okay. So we know it's a notorious movie, but a lot of people believe there is a curse related to this film. So let's get into why that is. Well, because there's been so many incidents on set. So one was the mysterious fire. Did you know about this? So much of the set of the McNeil house actually was destroyed by a significant fire. This delayed production of the movie for about 6 weeks. They said that it was really unusual because a bird flew into the circuit box. And strangely, the only room that was spared was Reagan's bedroom. Now, Reagan was the Linda Blair character that was possessed. And a lot of the exorcism scenes from the movie, of course, we know that was filmed in that room. So, of course, the crew started speculating like this is a supernatural interference, like what the heck? And because the room was the central place, right? It was the iconic demonic place where everything happened. And that room was untouched by the fire. That's really interesting. So, director William Friedkin requested a priest. Yeah, on the making of the movie. Yeah. Reverend Thomas Birmingham to perform a blessing on the set so he could calm the crew down. Now, if any of you are watching that was involved in the production of The Exorcist, please comment below. Did that priest really go there and perform a blessing? I would be really curious to know. Well, I also didn't realize this. Did you know multiple deaths? Deaths were linked to the production. So actually, this is bizarre. 9 deaths were reportedly associated with the film's production, contributing to the curse narrative of the movie. So Jack McGowan, aka Burke Dennings, died of flu complications shortly after finishing his scenes. Vasiliki Maliaros, that played Father Karras's mother, passed away from natural causes before the film's release. I don't know if you could really contribute that, but I guess it's all the deaths of the people involved in the movie, like during the movie and shortly after. Let's say this is what this is. A set technician and a night watchman and also an assistant cameraman's newborn baby all passed away, including Linda Blair's grandfather and Max von Sydow's brother. All died during the production of the movie or shortly thereafter. That is an unusual amount of death associated with the movie. I'm going to agree with that. But again, it could always be coincidence, right? Yeah. Years later, in 1987, the person that was the voice of the demon, that was Mercedes McCambridge's son. Oh my gosh, what? Killed his family and himself? Though this was unrelated to the film's production timeline. What? That's bizarre. Okay, I'm going to have to fact check that. Did you know that? That is bizarre. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's really creepy. So, injuries to cast and crew. Okay, so Linda Blair, she played Reagan, right? Head spinning around. Oh, I didn't know this. She fractured her lower back due to. Okay, so there's that scene where she's laying in bed, and I remember seeing this preview on TV too, and that literally gave me nightmares, even not seeing the whole movie. Like her whole bed was shaking up and down. Do you remember that? And so they had to create this mechanical bed. So they put her on it while they're filming, but that bed shook so violently, she literally fractured her lower back. At least that's what's reported here. That's really bizarre because she was so young during the filming of that. Like, that's bizarre. And it's been noted that her real screams of pain were used in the final cut. Because she just got this back injury, right? Added to the film's realism but unsettling reputation. Egads, like that's terrible. Ellen Burstyn, who played Chris McNeil. I love Ellen Burstyn, don't you? She's such a great actress. I just love what she's been in. Love her acting. Oh God, I didn't know this either. She suffered a permanent spinal injury when a stuntman pulled a wire way too hard. Holy cow. Causing her to fall forcefully. And her genuine screams were also used in the film. What? Did you guys already know this? I'm just, listen, I'm reading like the making of the movie right now, live. So this is really making me want to watch the movie because I have back issues and these poor, and I haven't even broken a vertebrae. And I still know how when you hurt your back, like those screams are for real. Like that's a little bit scary. So apparently a carpenter working on set lost his thumb. Okay. A lighting technician lost a toe in a separate accident. And this just added more misfortune on set. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. So to create the cold, eerie atmosphere of the exorcism scenes, do you remember wasn't there scenes? Now, again, you guys need to tell me because I haven't watched the full movie. Like, I just don't want to invite that energy into my house because, like I said, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you know stuff goes down. Yeah. Yikes. So, they had to keep the set refrigerated to below freezing temperatures so they could see the visible breath from the actors. Wow. This unexpected snow-like effect occurred indoors due to overactive air conditioners, and some interpreted this as a paranormal omen. Yeah, I guess if you're inside and you see it snowing, that would be bizarre. Because on another video, I think I put it on my other channel, Doc in the Den, it's my more casual channel, I was talking about the kid that was possessed when his grandfather died, and it started to rain inside the restaurant he was in. Real witnesses saw this. I can't remember the name of the case. It's on my other channel. You can check it out. But that reminds me of it, like starting to snow inside. That would seem very, very paranormal. Oh my gosh. It said that the crew members had to wear parkas, and they all were saying it was oh gosh. Some of the crew were like, okay, this is bizarre, this is paranormal. And the other crew was saying, no, it's just a technical glitch. Everyone just calm down. But I could see how they would think that after everyone's getting injured, like they have these unusual deaths going on. I get what you guys are saying. You all said The Exorcist was your scariest movie, and you were all saying it's the most cursed movie. I think you guys are right. I think you're right. Okay, so the director apparently employed intense methods to elicit authentic reactions from the actors. So, for example, this is bizarre if this is true, he would fire guns near the actors' faces, like right before a scene, and he would also slap them really hard to provoke shock and then get it on camera. Yeah, I don't know if I would be okay with that as an actor, if I was an actor. Like, I don't know if I would be okay with that. Not these days. You could break someone's neck doing that. So it was said that these tactics actually traumatized the cast. Yeah, I believe it. And Ellen Burstyn even called the director a maniac. Yeah, I think I would have too. So some speculated that this emotional strain on the crew and the actors, like gun firing and people are getting hit for real and then being filmed, it like attributed more of a negative vibe or negative energy on set because there was actual trauma going on. Yeah. So let's talk about this so-called priest that came on set and blessed the set. So, okay, then. Due to unsettling incidents, yeah, I think there's been some. We've talked about it. The director invited Reverend Thomas Birmingham, a Jesuit priest and technical advisor, to perform a blessing or minor exorcism on set. While this was intended to calm the crew and the actors, it fueled rumors that there was actually a demonic presence on set and that get this, crew was at risk of being possessed or having some kind of presence follow them home. I'm like, no. No. That's kind of scary. So there was multiple locations where they filmed this. Oh, Bookie, you going to be on? Here, let me see if I... Oh. Bookie, look it. Who's here? Yeah, we're talking about a scary movie. What was that little beeping in the background? So I have a new little Roomba vacuum and it just went off. I don't know if you heard that. It just went off all by itself. I don't know. I'm not saying that's paranormal. It's just that's what that sound was. Okay. So apparently, there was other locations for this movie. So they filmed in Rome, and apparently there was a famous lightning strike. So near the Vatican was where they were filming, and there was a 400-year-old crucifix outside the theater. And this was struck by lightning during a thunderstorm during filming. This dramatic event was seen as a supernatural sign. Well, yeah, I think so. That's a little weird. I mean, I know it could be a coincidence, but isn't it a little weird? Especially given the film's religious themes and its release the day after Christmas. What? This film was released the day after Christmas? Did you guys see it on its original release? Like normally people are returning their gifts and other people are watching heads spin around, right? Okay, that's wild. I did not know that part. So why do so many people, and they comment on my channel too, that they're after seeing the movie, they had weird things occur. This is a real cultural phenomenon, by the way. The films focus on the exorcisms, the Catholic exorcisms, evil resonating throughout that house, and so on. Really, I don't know if it had so much of a psychological impact or a real impact. What do you think of this? These are some comments that people made, what happened to them after seeing the movie. What do you think about this? So a woman recounted watching The Exorcist at a 7th grade slumber party. These are supposed to be true stories. And she felt the movie opened a portal. After the film, a lamp's bulb exploded loudly when turned off, plunging the room into darkness. The whole group of girls at the slumber party began to scream. And she said a twisted blind rod that looked like an arrow pointed at her, and it was like a crazy slumber party. So that was one comment. Another commenter said, a viewer's brother-in-law reported that immediately after watching the movie, The Exorcist, he noticed blood dripping from a cut on his hand that he hadn't noticed before. This occurred while he was still shaken up from the movie, amplifying. He thought, oh my God, something sinister is going on. That's a good comment. Another commenter said he heard a photo fall off the wall in the hallway after watching the movie, right when he was in the bathroom. And he said his teeth were chattering in fear. Another commenter said a teenager who watched The Exorcist felt uneasy about a porcelain doll in her room, and it reminded her of the character of Regan. She hid the doll behind a coat in her closet, and the next morning the coat was crumpled on the floor, and she said the doll was peering out at her under the coat. Yeah, that's now this I do want to talk about. This commenter said a person, she was reading the Exorcist book, finished it early, went to sleep, and awoke to their bed shaking violently. I just want to make a comment about that really quick. I remember, you guys know I talk a lot about this on my channel. So I remember laying one night on the bed, and this was me watching a lot of scary shows on TV, a lot of those ghost hunting shows. And I promise you, I feel like the bed was shaking or vibrating. Now, I'm going to attribute it to my cat or my dog jumping on the bed, but that freaked me out a little bit. I still can't say exactly what it was, but have you ever had that happen? It is wild. And I know some of you have commented on my channel that something like that has happened. Okay. So there's a lot of skeptics. I don't really want to go into that because I think, yeah, we can definitely attribute a lot of things to like. I think there's an explanation for everything. Um, uh, events. Yeah, let's check if there's any last ones. I'm hoping you guys are commenting below, like, what was your experience with what happened to you on the set of the movie? So I'm going to say, what do you think, Bookie? I'm going to say that that movie fire that spared Reagan's room, yeah, that is pretty creepy. I'm going to say all the deaths that occurred, that lightning strike in Rome, yeah, apparently in 1973 to 1974, there was mass hysteria in theaters. Do you all remember this? So, screenings of The Exorcist, because this was up until that moment of time the scariest movie that had ever came out. Audiences had never seen anything like this. So, they had some extreme audience reactions, and there was audience members fainting, vomiting, and even some had heart attacks while watching this movie in theaters. The Washington Post reported a global, not just here, a global spike in such incidents, with some theaters providing actual like barf bags for overwhelmed viewers. One woman even sued Warner Brothers Movies after fainting, falling, and breaking her jaw during a screening of the movie. These reactions, widely publicized, showed that, hey, this movie's quite intense, but I think that just drove more crowds to the movie, don't you? Yeah. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna agree with you guys. This is probably the scariest movie. I'm so intrigued now. I want to watch it, but I don't think I'll watch it here in the house. I don't want to invite anything here. All light and love over here. Well, anyway, so we did it. We talked about the Exorcist movie. Please comment below. I know if you were at the original screening, if you saw it when it came out, if something unusual happened after you saw it. We all want to know. Please comment below. Thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next one.